Hey there, my friends. Let's have a spiritual conversation because I really need it. And usually, when I do and I share, it turns out that one of you out there needs this message as well. I think we all live through more constant question marks than we let on, right, on social media or that we talk about. I don't think we ask each other for prayer requests as much as we possibly could. So I had an insight in the art studio yesterday, which is why I'm set up a little differently today, because I'm going to share a little bit about the art process that gave me an insight about life. So stick with me. I promise you, at least someone out there, this is going to be relevant for your personal life, okay? So when I am working on a canvas, I usually get a vision for what it can be very early on, whether just because of the way the colors are responding to each other, or maybe an idea I come in with, or I sketch something out with pastel chalk and I sort of see, yes, this is what it could be. And it's very much like when we have a goal in our head and we're like, yes, this is what I want to accomplish. Or, when there's sparks with a person and you're like, I could see our children. Like when you have those early visions of what something can be, right? But then you have to start the process of creating it, of bringing it into being, of achieving that goal. And invariably, things are going to evolve and change as you walk down that path. And in painting, often, I have this vision and then I start to take the steps that seem wise to bring this into being. And then things, respond unexpectedly. And there are these twists and turns, and things don't go the way that I had in mind. And sometimes it's very frustrating because it feels like the goal is getting further and further away, or it goes through these stages that I really don't like, and I'm like, oh, but it looks so good when it was just the chalk. Why couldn't I just capture that? And I can be very hard on myself, like I was so close yesterday and now I'm so far. And it's kind of like the concept of having a baby versus the 9 months of growing it. Like, in your mind, it's like, oh, yes, there's like you see the end result. And then in reality, it has to grow. And it's like this weird, you know, Martian looking thing that grows. And you're like, oh, no, that's not what I had in mind. But that's just because it's still in process, it's still forming. The, the eggs and the sugar and the flour have not yet become a cake yet. And it's kind of gross when it's just goo, right? And I really go through that when I am painting. And often, the finished piece is not an exact manifestation of what the vision was. But all of those weird turns and that feeling further from the goal and then having to adjust and work with that and move with that flow leads to something that is so much richer and more creative. Like all of those steps lead to a better outcome that our idea or my idea when I'm painting was the seed, but it became something better. So here's an example. Now that this painting, Distant Melody, exists, I could conceivably recreate it, But before it existed, I don't think I ever could have thought, okay, I want to do this painting with, this diagonal thing at the bottom with these squigglies, and then I'm going to have this hill with these like splatters but not splatters, and I'm going to have these portals to other dimensions. Like, I had to start with an idea, which was actually this underlayer, and move with it and admit when it wasn't working and adjust and try things and paint over and paint again. And then I came up with something that was really original you know, and now that it exists, then you can copy it. Not really, but you get what I'm saying. So if you are living through something like that right now, where you're just like, oh, this job isn't what I thought it would be, or I am not being the person that I wanted to be, or whatever it is, like, let's try to trust this week that as we seek to be guided, as we seek always to make the higher choices, even when we don't know what they are, that we are being guided to an outcome that is totally in our best interest, but that is more nuanced and rich and developed and creative than just the blueprint of the execution of our personal will. So let's try to trust that this week. And painting may not be finished by the end of the week. I'm not suggesting that. But we might enjoy the ride a little bit better. I'm going to try to do that anyway. And for any of you who have seen my show, Awaken to Your Life as a Spiritual Journey, or read The Seven Valleys of Baha'u'llah, you know the story of the watchman, right? And situations that our instinct is to curse because we are unhappy with them and life seems cruel sometimes, to remember that we're being guided somewhere. And I'm going to leave you with a quote from the Baha'i writings from Baha'u'llah. It's a high standard, you guys, but I think if we can internalize this, it'll give us a lot of strength and creativity. Let nothing grieve thee. Place thy trust in God. He is with thee at all times. Remember that. He is with thee at all times. Trust in him and commit thine affairs to the hand of omnipotence. Verily, his vision transcendeth thine, and he desires for thee that which the mind hath not conceived. He desires for thee that which the mind hath not conceived. This is that which profiteth thee. Verily, thy Lord is the all-possessing, the exalted. So, we're being guided to that which the mind hath not conceived. Have a great week, you guys. Hit me up. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this video, or even if you want to share, like, you know, what you're going through, because we're all going through something. I have links below to my Patreon. I'm still looking for that 10th founder who's going to get one of the limited edition prints, and also to my Jacqueline Claire Facebook art page. If you haven't liked it already, you should check it out. Post cool stuff there. Love you guys. Have a good week. Bye.